Hello, welcome to A Very Explosion Network Christmas, our podcast dedicated to the merriest of holidays, the festive season with films about Santa, snow, or being left home alone. Time of year we all get come together and argue if Babe is a Christmas movie. I'm your host, Ashley Hobley, and helping me grow my heart 3 sizes of Christmas cheer is Dylan Blight.
Does Babe set at Christmas? No, it takes place over a long period of time.
It does, but, you know, Babe is initially being fattened up for a certain holiday.
No,
and then he gets replaced by a duck.
No.
And then the duck he sings Jingle Bells.
Babe is not a Christmas movie.
Okay. Alright, today we're talking about this new Australian film, Christmas Ransom. So please we'll be freely discussing anything and everything about the plot themes of the movie. So if you haven't watched it, come back later. It's currently streaming on Stan as a Stan original. With that said, let's jump to discussion of Christmas Ransom.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the store, business was failing
Are you okay?
like never before.
Have you seen this?
Of course I have.
Wait for it.
When the owner clocked off,
Harrington and Sons is now closed.
an adventure did call
Merry Christmas, Gladys.
Merry Christmas, Derek.
for 2 young hideaways with plenty of balls.
Commence Operation Christmas Star.
No one steals on my watch.
I can take her.
What do you want?
300,000 in cash.
I'm not trying to bust you, but we are in serious danger. What do we do? Follow me.
Listen up, CEO.
You've got 1 hour.
Or we start playing hangman.
What's the sitch?
2 kids, 1 man, and a pregnant woman.
So it's time to save another Christmas.
Let's go!
Directed by Adele Vuko, written by Elliot Vella, Gretel, and Timothy Walker, starring Matt Okine, Miranda Tapsell, Ed Oxenbould, Genevieve Lemon, Bridie, McKim, Hansen, Evan Stanhope, and Tahlia Sturzaker. When beloved toy store Harrington and Sons is hijacked on Christmas Eve by a pair of bumbling criminals and the struggling owner held for a ransom, a pair of shoplifting kids stumble into the heist, where they are forced to team up with a heavily pregnant security officer to save Christmas for everyone. Dylan, is Christmas Ransom on the naughty or the nice list?
I'm going naughty.
Ooh.
I'm going naughty. It's right on the fence, but I'm going naughty. I have to decide. I have to put it one place or the other. I feel like it's so close to being good. It's just, like, I feel like everything works in this movie. It's just not funny, but it consistently is trying to be funny, and that's the problem. Like, I like the setup. I like the simplicity of it. I like, everyone seems, like, the cast, it's not really the cast's fault. I just feel like there's something missing. There's just the way it's, the jokes aren't coming together. At least they weren't for me. I didn't laugh at anything. I didn't not like the movie, but I just felt like I felt like I was watching a first draft of something, is how I would describe my experience with Christmas Ransom. Not something I'd particularly watch again, but if they were like, hey, the same people that did that are doing another one, it's not like I'd be like, hell no. I'd be like, all right, let's see if they've got it together, because these are, to be fair, I haven't watched Sunburnt Christmas, which is the
I thought you had watched Sunburnt Christmas.
No, I never actually got around to watching it. So
next year.
Yeah, next year. But that was the one that came out last year. I do like that Stan's like putting out a Christmas movie a year. It's becoming a thing apparently. But I didn't love it. I'd probably go like a 5, I guess.
This just scrapes on the nice list, I think. You know, it is very silly and very there's a lot of lowest common denominator jokes.
There's a lot of fart jokes.
There is a lot of fart jokes. And one of the kids is called Wombat, so, you know. But yeah, I think there was enough there to enjoy, even though the plot line is very ridiculous and all over the place. And, you know, there isn't a lot of Christmas charm around it, other than it just happens to be set at Christmas, because that's the time that it makes most sense to have this story take place. But I had a good time. I enjoyed most of the cast. I thought the kids were quite amusing when they weren't doing the fart jokes. And I think Miranda Tapsell was really fun throughout the end.
She's a standout.
Yeah, she's probably the highlight of the film. Obviously, as the pregnant security guard who hasn't told the father, that she's pregnant. Almost does by emoji 9 months later. Which is, a bold choice. Yeah. I thought there was enough there to like. Yeah, whether it was the whole Greg storyline and him being a firefighter, and his mate telling her she's just calling for a booty call, even though she hasn't called in 9 months. And them having to save lives, and it just turning out they're doing a calendar the night of before Christmas.
Yep.
With poppies. Very weird. That seems like poor planning. Normally you have those calendars out months
It's for the
ahead.
year after. It's for the year after, I guess.
Maybe. But really, does it take you a year to get all your calendars made?
Printing that many calendars takes time, I hear. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. The toy store is kind of like whatever, There weren't a lot, like, obviously there's a element of you can't use you'd have to pay a lot of licensing to get like proper toys and stuff in that here, which I think probably holds them back, and they just have to use kind of generic stuff. I don't know who would want to buy a doll that shits itself. Is that a thing that kids want? Like, very graphic, like gag-inducing. And even the video games that she makes, like, kind of...
They never
really?
show... They just show box art, right? They never actually show...
They look very free-to-play level. And then they're playing VR games at the end of the movie. It's like, what kind of games are you making that you suddenly can pull out $300,000? She makes a very good point. How are you supposed to pull out $300,000 in cash at whatever time this toy store closes? That seems like their plan seems very flawed.
On Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Yes. Of course, we got the big twist that he was in on the ransom the entire time. Did you see it?
Fair, I didn't see it coming. No, I didn't see it coming.
I think I saw it coming like a few moments before. Like, he actually says it. Because he says, I didn't believe they had real guns. It's like, oh, you thought you were in on it.
Oh, yeah, and then the dude's like, why didn't you do anything if you didn't really think they were real? And he's like, oh, I just didn't want to risk it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, I should have realized the moment he was tied up with tinsel that it was all fake. Because that can't be that hard to break out of, surely.
I don't know. Tinsel's pretty strong stuff.
Yeah.
As long as it's like new tinsel, not old tinsel that's kind of been sitting in a bag for a year.
Yeah.
Degrading. I love I did enjoy the ridiculousness of the relationship between Brad and Kim? No. The girl. The suddenly falling in love at first sight. And then she has the reverse camera angle. Later on, I thought was quite amusing. But yeah, the whole Nan and Shez thing, just weird the entire movie, Nan's just chewing the scenery the entire movie, playing.
Kind of works.
It works. I will tell you my favorite line, and it was in the bloopers as well, where she gave multiple reads. It's like she's pointing a gun at Miranda Tapsell, and she's like, "So this is what I like to die hard. This is what it feels like to die hard." So ridiculous. Yeah. Also, the getaway.
Having a beer on the beach and barley by morning.
Yeah, and her big plan is to get away on the balloon on the roof, which apparently is being
all the way to Bali.
Apparently, like, is it a hot air balloon or is it full of helium? How does that work?
No idea.
And
actually, no, it's helium, I guess. Yeah.
Is the gimmick that every single year they let it loose with the present, all the letters to Santa? Was that the thing?
I assume they just chuck out the letters. It's just he gets kids to give the letters and they fill it up and I don't know.
But if you're not like releasing it, why would you make it a hot air balloon? Why don't you just pump it full of air?
That means he has to buy a brand new one of those kangaroos every year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And it definitely looks
money.
like it's been replaced every year. Otherwise, they're going out and fetching it from the ocean, middle of the ocean every single time. It's a lot of silly things.
I will say, at the end of the movie where that thing's flying along the sky, I was like,
it's cool visual.
Is this real? Because it looks cool. Like, it looks real. Like, it looked legit. Like, it didn't look bad special effects, if that's what, I don't know what the girl was.
Yeah. Oh, the close-up of her in the kangaroo, like, didn't look as good.
No, not her, but just the balloon.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible.
I was just wondering. Maybe it was a real balloon.
A real balloon, or it could have been like a drone or something with a...
Yeah, because just like the way it like sat against the skyline. Oh no, it just looks like the shadowing and everything just looks legit. So, and then the lighting, like the red coming off it.
Yeah. The thing that kind of pushed me over the edge towards it being on the naughty list is the police.
The rave dancing.
Yeah, the police officer and her.
You know, she's the director.
She's the director.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a little bit over the top. This is a little bit self-indulgent.
Yeah.
You know, you're meant to be a negotiator, and you're clearly not very good at it. Poor Greg, trying to be the voice of reason while he's got a bullet in his butt.
That's kind of funny. I appreciate a good bullet in the butt gag.
Yeah. And him putting the pressure on.
Yep.
Both hands.
That worked for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a nice ending with all the kids being able to stay together. I guess living in the store still, which probably is still very illegal. Unless they got something.
No, well, he signed. It implied that he was going to adopt them or whatever. Like he was signing the paperwork at the end.
I don't think that's how adopting kids works, but
I don't think that's how it works either. But that's what the implication was.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts on Christmas Ransom?
No, I don't know. It was fine. Like I didn't regret watching it. It's a watchable movie. Just I didn't think it was particularly funny. That's my biggest hold up. It's a movie constantly trying to crack jokes and not really
not hitting enough.
At all. Yeah.
What about her and the chocolate milk? Look like
No,
the chocolate milk. Oh yeah, you don't like milk, so
doesn't do anything for me. So yeah. It's not that I don't like milk. Milk doesn't like me.
Alright, let us know what you think of the Christmas Ransom by going to explosion.com/Twitter or jump to Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at a very Explosion Network Christmas, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, on Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars anywhere. We can leave 5 stars or just tell people about the show. And if you really like this episode, thought it was worth $1, head over to our Cove page at explosion.com/supports. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, let me tell you a story.